Mga katropa, alam mo ba na ang DWDD 1134 kHz AFP radio ay ang opisyal na radio station ng sandatahang lakas ng Pilipinas na binubuo ng Army, Navy at Air Force na siyang maghahatid sa inyo ng mga balita mula sa ating Armed Forces at iba pang impormasyon. Mga katropa, hanapin at ilike kami sa Facebook, Twitter at YouTube. DWDD AFP Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
From the serene scenes of our countryside to the bustling streets of our cities, the Philippines is blessed with a vibrant culture that highlights its diverse background. Behind this beautiful backdrop, however, lies the story of a decades-long struggle that has prevented the dream of a peaceful and developed Philippines from being achieved. Hoping to break this struggle, Executive Order No. 70 was signed in 2018 mandating the institutionalization of the whole-of-nation approach in attaining inclusive and sustainable peace, creating a national task force to end local communist armed conflict, or NTF-LCAC, and directing the adoption of a national peace framework. Flashback to its humble beginnings, the NTF-LCAC was created in response to the breakdown of national-level peace talks. These peace talks endeavored to put an end to the 54-year-long exploitations and atrocities of the country's communist terrorist group, the CPP-NPA-NDF. Understanding that despite the peaceful and wholehearted intention of the government to end its conflict with the CPP-NPA-NDF, the same could not be said for them. Faced with such blatant disrespect, lack of any willingness to approach the negotiation in the interest of peace, and continuous atrocities, the NTF-LCAC was established to breathe new life towards our peace-building efforts. Jumping off from its signing in the 4th of December 2018, the National Task Force crafted its national plan and cluster implementing plans in April of 2019, all imbued with the whole-of-nation approach, whole-of-society approach, and good governance. The task force has since harmonized, encouraged, supported efforts, and provided a medium for collaborations in truly making meaningful, sustainable, lasting, and inclusive peace, security, and development for all Filipinos. Guided by its national and implementation plans, the task force, through the efforts of its member agencies and National Secretariat, established its 12 national clusters or lines of efforts to address the 10 programs of the CTG, with 2 tracks defining the strategic operations of the clusters. The task force spearheaded the efforts of its political, economic, and socio-cultural track, composed of the Local Government Empowerment Cluster, the International Engagement Cluster, the Basic Services Cluster, the Infrastructure and Resource Management Cluster, the Poverty Reduction, Livelihood and Employment Cluster, and the Sectoral Unification, Capacity Building, Empowerment, and Mobilization Cluster. These efforts complement the initiatives of the Peace Engagement, Law Enforcement and Military Track, which is a participation of the Strategic Communications Cluster, the Peace, Law Enforcement and Development Support Cluster, the Situational Awareness and Knowledge Management Cluster, the Legal Cooperation Cluster, the Local Peace Engagements Cluster, and the ECLIP and Amnesty Program. In its vow to inclusivity and in reaching the farthest and most remote of areas, parallel operations of the National Task Force were mirrored down to the grassroots through the establishment of local task forces, from the Joint Regional Task Forces, or JRTFs, to provincial RTFs, as well as city, municipal, and barangay task forces. This existing institutional mechanism and the underlying development process partnered with top-down and bottom-up planning preserves and ensures not only the inclusivity across the country, but more importantly, the geared-up participation and heard voices of Filipinos.
Po, para sa aming mga kabarangay, nabawasan po yung kanilang kahirapan sa paglalabas ng kanilang mga proyekto. Unang-una po ay yung mga buunan nyog at saka po kopras, yung pong saging. Lahat pong kalakal nila ay napakalaking kaginawahan po na itulong sa aming mga kabarangay.
Dati kasi mahirap kalsada dito, yung putik, mahirap maglabas ng mga produkto. Tapos yun ngayon, maganda na yung access ng kalsada papunta sa labas.
Their capacities to help within their communities and uplift their very own lives are built and prioritized. The unwavering and undisturbed operations of the task force, which forged its way out of the devastating atrocities and exploitations of the CTG, faced and survived through the COVID-19 pandemic, and continued to the current administration as guided by the crafted medium-term roadmap that shall and will ensure a path to unity, security, inclusive, and sustainable peace and development during the term of the President. Under said roadmap, efforts from 2023 until 2024 shall focus on defeating the CTG and breaking their support structure, while 2025 to 2028 will focus on building on its successes and ensuring sustainment of its achievements.
The efforts of our LGUs, our various government agencies and law enforcement authorities in the region for supporting the NTF-LCAC by improving public safety and implementing programs that improve the living conditions for all.
As of date, under the leadership of the NTF-LCAC Chairman, His Excellency Ferdinand Marcos Jr., Co-Vice Chairpersons, Vice President and Secretary of Education Sara Duterte, and NSA Eduardo Año, with the orchestration of Executive Director Ernesto Torres Jr., the National Task Force asserts its 100% establishment of its regional task forces, LCAC, across the country. In addition, 79% of its localities declared the CPP-NPA-NDF as persona non grata. Continuing on the success of the past, the NTF-LCAC under the present administration continues to blaze its path towards peace, providing continuous support to program such as the flagship Barangay Development Program and ECLIP, which continuously win hearts and minds and spur the surrender of the CTG affiliates respectively to breaking new ground in instituting programs such as DWDD's Last Mile Program and the new Agrarian Emancipation Act to support far-flung barangays and spurring development. These game-changing efforts have truly made the difference, utilizing the whole-of-nation participation and whole-of-government approach, which involves the national and regional government agencies, as well as the local government units and the private sector. Marked improvement of our country's global terrorism index ranking has been observed, raising our ranking from 9th in 2019 to 18th in 2023. But more than that, it led the way towards the provision of houses, access to clean water, electricity, food, education, healthcare, and other basic services, opening roads to peace, unity, and development, while the NTF-LCAC has made significant headway towards ending the local communist armed conflict. There is still much work to be done, focusing on ensuring the adherence to the whole of government, as well as maximizing private support under the whole-of-nation approach. These efforts will undoubtedly continue the game-changing successes of the NTF-LCAC. These successes would not have been possible if not for the efforts of every member agency, government office, private institution, stakeholder, and beneficiary.
Mulit-muli, kasangga nyo kami at sama-sama tayo para sa isang matatag, maginhawa at panatag na buhay para sa bawat pamilyang Pilipino tungo sa isang bagong Pilipinas.
We are now at the point in our history when their armed struggle has evolved we have now progressed together towards peace and development. We have incorporated capacity building and social protection into our reintegration programs to guarantee full decommissioning of former combatants. Through community development and livelihood programs, the barangay development and enhanced comprehensive local integration programs have been effective in addressing the root cause of conflict in the countryside. To complete this reintegration process, I will issue a proclamation granting amnesty to rebel returnees, and I ask Congress to support me in this endeavor.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Ating pakinggan ang mga impormasyon at balita sa kasalukuyang kaganapan sa ating bansa dito sa programang Kumusta Pilipinas, hosted by Major Mark Anthony Cardenosa, Philippine Army, and Airman First Class Glenn Guljan, alas 10 hanggang alas 11 ng umaga, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, dito sa DWDD Armed Forces Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Magandang umaga, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Mapagpalang araw sa ating mga masulit taga-subaybay at tagapanig sa ating himpilan ng radyo. Mababayan araw po ngayon ng Miyerkules, ika-siyam ng buwan ng July taong 2025. At muli po tayong magkakasama-sama sa loob ng isang oras para sa ating programang maghatid sa inyo ng mga balita at impormasyon saan mangdako ng ating bansa, mangungumusta po sa inyo at mangungumusta sa kalagayan ng ating inang bayan. Mababayan ako po yung lingkod, katropang Glenn Gulchan, at ito po ang programang Kumusta Pilipinas. Mga taga-subaybay, samahan niyo po kami sa loob ng isang oras para sa ating programa Kumusta Pilipinas na mapapakinggan Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 10 hanggang alas 11 po yan ng umaga. At sa umaga po ito ay makasama natin sa baging technical ang aking partners, katropang Ferdy Blues. Ngayon mababayan, samahan niyo po kami sa isang oras pong paghatid ng balita at sa mga impormasyon at mga kaganapan na ating pong bibigyang pansin at hihimay-himayin ngayong araw ng Miyerkules. Sa ngalan po ng aming station manager, Colonel Franzel Margaret Padilla, at siya na ring spokesperson ng ating Armed Forces of the Philippines, at sa katuwang ng ating Deputy Group Commander, Major Mark Anthony Cardenosa, Philippine Army, ay binabati po namin kayo ng isa pong mapagpalang araw at maulang araw ng Miyerkules. Ngayon pong araw po mga bayan ay ating pong bigyang pansin at bigyang halaga ang kahalagahan po ng ating pong naranasang panahon. At ngayon po, kung mapapansin po ninyo, ngayong araw ay tila tuloy-tuloy ang pagbuhos ng ulan. Simula pa po yan kagabi hanggang ngayon ay tuloy-tuloy po. Kaya sa ating mababayan saan mang dako ng ating bansa ay kami po ay patuloy pong nagpapaabot sa inyo ng patuloy na pagpapaalala at pag-ingat at pag-monitor sa ating pong panahon. Bago pong yan ay gusto ko lang pong batiin ang ating pong mga tropa at especially ang aming pong Chief of Staff CRS, Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines. And sa panguna po yan ni General Romeo Browner Jr. Sir. Good morning po sa inyo. Ang aming pong Commander ng CRS, Major General Oliver C. Makiling, Philippine Army. Katuwang po yan ng aming Deputy Commander, Brigadier General Medel M. Aguilar, Philippine Army, na patuloy pong sinusuportahan ng ating pong Chief of Staff CRS, Colonel Marlo Patria, Philippine Army. Sa buong pong hanay ng CRS at ng Civilian Human Resource Officers and Enlisted Personnel ay binabati po namin kayo ng maulang hapon ng Miyerkules. At sa ating pong mga taga-subaybay, sa ating pong mga taga-pakinig ngayon na nakatabay sa ating pong Facebook Live, ano na kung saan tayo po naantabanan sa AFP Radio DWD Facebook page at AFP Virtual TV. And simulcast na napapakinggan sa iba't ibang radio station partners nationwide. Ano kaya kami po ay binabati po namin kayo ng isa pong mapagpalang umaga, especially sa mga Bisaya na itong karong gapaminaw na dagang karon sa atong mga Bisaya. Ang gapaminaw sa atong programa na kung saan tayo po simulcast na napapakinggan dyan po sa Samar, Northern Samar. Ano maupay na aga sa inyo dida? Ano sa may lunggong nga pamati subong nga maayong aga sa inyong tanan mga simanwa. Ano and then naimbag na adlaw sa indong gabos. Ano na parang naimbag na adlaw sa indong gabos. Hindi ko na correct me if I'm wrong, parang nahalo ata yung Ilocano ko at saka ng aking Bicolano. However, mga babayan, ay mapagpalang araw po sa inyong lahat. Para po sa ating maunat at maulang araw at sa ating pong mainit na pangungumusta sa ating mga taga-subaybay, ay nais po namin kayong hatidan ng weather update sa kasalukuyan po nating nararanasang panahon. At ito po ay aming ipinapaabot sa inyo upang tayo po ay maging aware, updated sa ating po naranasang patuloy na pagbuhos ng ulan. Pero bago po yan, ay gusto ko lang pong batiin ang ating mga tropa na nakatabi sa ating Facebook Live streaming. Ano sa panguna po yan, siyempre ang ating pong isa sa mga avid fans and very supporter, one of the supporters ng ating AFP Radio. And si Sir Wilson Balduza Bazalisa, sir, good morning po sa inyo at happy morning and happy rainy morning sa inyo po dyan. Kay Ma'am Ella Mercado na nakantabay, kay Sir Jonathan Echevarria, sir, good morning po sa inyo. At sa ilang pa mga viewers na nakantabay at nakikinig ngayon na mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat. At mga bayan, sa ating patuloy na paghatid ng mga balita ay nais po namin kayong bigyan ng mainit na impormasyon, lalong-lalo po sa ating patuloy na naranasang panahon. At ito po ang weather update na nais po namin maipabot at malaman ng taong bayan sa patuloy po yung pakikipag-antabay dito po sa ating Armed Forces Radio. Mga babayan, atin itong pakinggan.
Magandang umaga, Pilipinas. Narito ang latest sa lagay ng ating panahon. Mabagat pa rin ang nakakaapekto sa buong bansa at patuloy pa rin itong nagdudulot ng mga pag-ulan sa malaking bahagi po ng ating kalupaan. Inaasahan pa rin natin ang katamtaman hanggang sa kung minsan ay malakas na mga pag-ulan dito sa Batanes, Babuyan Islands, Pangasinan, Zambales, Bataan, maging sa Occidental Mindoro. Kaya't sa mga kababayan natin doon, patuloy natin silang pinag-iingat sa bantaho ng mga pagbaha at pagguho ng lupa dahil sa halos patuloy na pag-ulan dahil nga po sa habagat o southwest monsoon. Samantala, dahil pa rin sa southwest monsoon, inaasahan pa rin natin ng generally maulap na papawirin at ina-expect pa rin natin ng mga pag-ulan ngayon sa natitirang bahagi pa ng Ilocos Region, sa Cordillera Administrative Region, mainland Cagayan, sa natitirang bahagi pa ng Central Luzon, dito po sa Metro Manila, Cavite, Batangas, Rizal, Laguna, natitirang bahagi pa ng Mimaropa Region, sa Aklan, Antique, Negros Island Region, maging sa Zamboanga Peninsula. Kahit saan man ang lakad natin sa araw na ito, huwag kong kalimutang magdala ng mga pananggalang sa ulan. Samantala, meron din tayong minomonitor na low pressure area sa labas po ng ating area of responsibility. At base sa ating latest kanina na forecast at sa analysis natin, huling nakita yan sa layong 1,685 kilometers silangan ng extreme northern Luzon. Tumalayo naman po ito sa atin, nasa labas po ito ng ating area of responsibility at wala po itong direktang epekto ngayon sa anumang bahagi ng ating kalupaan. At according sa ating forecast, sa latest analysis po natin, nananatiling mababa ang tsansang mabuo ito bilang isang bagyo in the next 24 hours. At generally, northwestward o pahilagang kanluran ng kanyang magiging pagkilos. At kung pumasok man po ito ng ating area of responsibility, nananatiling mababa ang tsansang makaapekto ito ng direkta sa anumang bahagi ng ating kalupaan. Ngayon po man, patuloy pa rin po tayong mag-antabay at mag-monitor sa magiging updates ng pag-asa ukol sa nasabing weather disturbance. Para naman po sa real-time na warnings, thunderstorm and rainfall warnings, bisitahin po natin ang website na panahon.gov.ph para po sa mga updated na possibilities kung meron man pong tsansa ng mga pagkidlat pagkulog o may mga nararanasang pagkidlat pagkulog at mga pag-ulan sa inyong lugar, ay bisitahin po natin itong website panahon.gov.ph at dyan po natin, nire-release din po natin, nag-i-issue po ang ating Pag-asa Regional Services Division ng mga thunderstorm advisories and rainfall advisories at dito po natin makikita sa website na ito. Samantala, i-reiterate lamang po natin ang ating forecast for today sa malaking bahagi ng bansa. Dahil nga po sa Southwest Monsoon o Habagat, patuloy pa rin ang malalakas na mga pag-ulan dito po sa Zambales, Bataan, Pangasinan, Occidental Mindoro, maging sa Batanes at Babuyan Islands. At dahil pa rin sa Southwest Monsoon o Habagat, asahan pa rin natin ang maulap na papawrin at mga kalat-kalat na mga pagulan at pagkidlat pagkulog sa natitirang bahagi pa ng Ilocos Region, Cordillera Administrative Region sa mainland Cagayan, sa natitirang bahagi pa po ng Central Luzon, dito po sa Metro Manila, Cavite, Batangas, Rizal at Laguna, maging dito po sa natitirang bahagi ng Mimaropa Region. Para naman sa ating pagtayo ng ating temperatura sa lawag, from 24 to 28 degrees Celsius ang ating inaasahan. Sa Baguio ay 17 to 20 degrees Celsius. Sa Tuguegarao ay 24 to 32 degrees Celsius. Sa Metro Manila, 27 to 31 degrees Celsius. 27 to 33 degrees Celsius naman po sa Legazpi City at sa Tagaytay ay 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Para naman sa magiging forecast sa natitirang bahagi pa ng Luzon, yun po yung dito sa Quezon Province at maging sa Bicol Region, asahan natin bahagyang maulap hanggang sa maulap ang papawrin at may tsansa pa rin homan ng mga thunderstorms o pagkidlat pagkulog, especially po sa hapon at gabi. Para naman sa natitirang bahagi po ng ating bansa, asahan pa rin natin dito po sa Aklan, Antique, Negros Island Region, maulap pa rin ang ating papawurin at may mga kalat-kalat na pagulan at pagkidlat pagkulog pa rin dahil sa habagat, gayon din sa Zamboanga Peninsula. Pero sa natitirang bahagi ng Visayas at Mindanao, bahagyang maulap hanggang sa maulap ang papawurin at may tsansa lamang ng mga thunderstorms sa hapon at gabi. Para sa pagtayo ng ating temperatura doon sa Tacloban from 26 to 33 degrees Celsius, 26 to 33 din po sa Cebu City at 25 to 32 degrees Celsius sa Puerto Princesa City, 25 to 32 sa Cagayan de Oro, 24 to 32 naman sa Davao City, habang 24 to 31 degrees Celsius po sa Zamboanga City. Sa kasalukuyan ay wala rin po tayong gale warning sa namang bahagi ng ating mga baybaying dagat, pero ingat lamang po especially sa maliliit na sasakyang pandagat, lalong-lalo na dito sa northern at western seaboards po ng Northern Luzon, kung sana ay inaasahan pa rin natin ang katamtaman hanggang sa maalong kondisyon ng karagatan dahil pa rin po sa habagat o southwest. Sa natitirang bahagi naman ng ating bansa ay banayad hanggang sa katamtaman ang magiging pag-alon ng karagatan. Ang sunrise natin for today is 5:33 in the morning at mamaya ay lulubog ang araw sa ganap na alas 6:30 ng gabi. Ito po si Lori de la Cruz Galicia. Magandang umaga po.
Alright, maraming salamat sa weather update ng ating pong katropas dyan po sa DOST, sa ating pong pag-asa report sa ating pong panahon na ating pong patuloy na pong binabantayan ngayong araw at sa mga sudpang mga araw. Kaya mga bayan, tayo po patuloy na maging updated sa ating pong panahon na ating pong naranasan upang tayo po maging aware doon sa mga gagawin po natin. Lalo-lalo po sa mga lugar na kung saan ay malapit sa tabing dagat at ikang ay sa mga mangingisda po natin. Alright mga bayan, tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa ating pong paghatid ng mga balita at ngayon po ay isa pong impormasyon na nais po naming maging highlights upang maging aware ang ating pong mga babayan, especially sa patuloy pong ating pong advokasya patungkol po dyan sa West Philippine Sea. Mababayan, para po sa kalaman po natin, ngayon pong buwan ng July, ay ito po ang buwan na kung saan ay nagkaroon po tayo ng arbitral ruling dito po sa ating pong laban dito sa West Philippine Sea, sa ating pong teritoryo. At para po sa kalaman ng ating mga taga-subaybay, ay ito pong buwang ito ay binibigyang halaga ng ating pong pamahalaan. and especially sa ating pong Armed Forces of the Philippines, na isa po itong napakalaking aspeto sa pangangalaga ng soberanya ng ating pong bansa. Sa ngayon pong buwan at nalalapit po na ikangay declaration ng arbitral ruling na kung saan dito po sa desisyon ng International Law of the Sea ay nasa atin itong mga teritoryong ito, especially po dyan sa West Philippine Sea. And from the shoreline to 200 nautical miles ay nasa sa exclusive economic zone po natin. Ayan po ang ating pinangalagaan, and through the exclusive economic zone ay ito po ang ating pong pinangangalagaan. And through the arbitral ruling and sa International Law of the Sea ay tayo po kinilala na kung saan ay may karapatan na pangalagaan ito po mga teritoryong iyan. At para po sa kalaman ng ating mga taga-subaybay, ang ating pong Armed Forces of the Philippines ay kikilalanin ng ating pong AFP ang isang high-level security forum ng Strat-Based Institute sa ngayon pong darating na Hulyo 11, ngayon pong 11 July. Ito ay kasabay po ng ikasyam na anibersaryo ng pagkapanalo ng ating pong Pilipinas, ng bansang Pilipinas, sa arbitral case kontra China kaugnay po ng West Philippine Sea. Ito po ay pinapaabot po namin mga babayan dahil ito po ay isang pagkakataon na dapat tayo po ay magdiwang, magkaroon ng pagpupugay sa ating pong pagkapanalo na pangalagaan ng ating pong teritoryo. At dagdag pa dyan mga babayan, ayon po sa naging pahayag ni Strat-Based President Dindo Manhit, tampok po sa gaganaping forum ang papel ng ating pong Armed Forces of the Philippines sa pagtatanggol ng soberanya sa ating bansa at pagsusulong ng rules-based international order. Bilang pagkilala ay paparangalan din ang mga miyembro ng AFP na napapakita ng katapangan at dedikasyon sa pagprotekta ng karagatan ng bansang Pilipinas. At mga babayan, we would like to inform everybody about this Victory Day na ating pong ipinagdidiriwang ngayon pong buwan ng July. Ito po ang ating pong pagkapanalo dyan po sa China regarding po dito sa ating pong pangangalaga dito po sa ating teritoryo sa West Philippine Sea. Ito pong arbitral case na kung saan ang EEZ ay natin ay sinasakop na ito pong na ating kapitbahay ng ating pong kapitbahay na bansang China, dahil nga sa kanilang claims na before 11 dash lines at ngayon naging 9 dash lines. Ito po ay gusto namin ito maintindihan ng bawat isa, why we are fighting for it and why we want to know about this West Philippine Sea. At ito po ang gusto naming ipaabot as we are celebrating this opportunity, this kind of success na ating pong nasagawa at ating pong naranasan ngayon. We will like you to play na AVP ng mga babayan. As long as hindi pa matapos ang buwan ito, we will always play this AVP about the West Philippine Sea, para po maintindihan, maunawaan po ninyo kung ano nga ba at bakit nga ba pangangalagaan po natin ang ating pong karagatan, ang ating pong teritoryo dyan sa West Philippine Sea. And this video will explain to each one of us, especially Filipinos, and also sa ating mga neighboring countries, bakit mahalaga ito. At ano po ang epekto nito sa ekonomiya ng bansa, at bakit kailangan natin protektahan. At ano po ang epekto nito sa pamumuhay ng ating pong mamayang Pilipino, lalo na po sa ating pong fisheries sectors. At mga bayan, oras natin ganap na alas 6:30 na po ng umaga at tayo po ay magpapakala ng himpilan and we will play an AVP, a presentation about the West Philippine Sea in order to be aware and understand the situation behind on this advocacy na kailangan po nating panatiling pangalagaan ng ating karapatan yan po sa West Philippine Sea. Mga babayan, huwag na huwag kayong alis, huwag na huwag kayong mawala at panoorin niyo po itong AVP para sa ating lahat.
Alamin ang mga mainit na balita mula sa ating Armed Forces. Tumutok sa 1134 kHz AM sa inyong mga radyo. At manood online. I-like at i-share ang AFP Radio DWDD Facebook page. Ito ang DWDD Armed Forces Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
What does the West Philippine Sea truly mean for us? It is not just a matter of geography. It's about our sovereignty and national pride. We must understand what we are fighting for, why we are fighting for our rights in the West Philippine Sea, and how as Filipinos can contribute to this battle for what is rightfully ours. In this video, we'll explain why understanding this issue is vital and how we can stand united in safeguarding our nation's future. The West Philippine Sea is part of the South China Sea, where China claims almost 90% of the area. This region is rich in oil, gas, and marine biodiversity, which serve as a source of livelihood for every Filipino. The South China Sea is a major trade artery and one of the most important trade routes in the world, with 21% of global trade, valued at $3.37 trillion, passing through it, highlighting its global significance. The West Philippine Sea is crucial for the Philippines, both economically and environmentally. In 2017, its marine ecosystem, including the continental shelf, was valued at about $1.5 trillion. The WPS makes up 40% of the Philippines' maritime area, showing its significant role in the country's waters. It supports the livelihoods of over 318,000 Filipino fisherfolk. In 2022, the West Philippine Sea produced 1.16 million metric tons of fish, valued at $950 million. These numbers highlight the WPS' vital importance to the Philippines' economy and national security. China seeks sovereignty over the South China Sea, using economic and military power to assert dominance. In contrast, the Philippines pursues its rights through diplomatic means and transparency initiatives, a strategic defense approach aimed at asserting and protecting its maritime rights in the West Philippine Sea.
So kailangan talaga natin na palakasin pa yung ating yung presence natin sa West Philippine Sea.
We will ensure all our actions are within the rules of engagement and international law. We will not escalate the situation. They should de-escalate the situation.
This initiative involves openly sharing information, educating the public, and shaping the narrative around the Philippines' territorial claims, especially with its exclusive economic zone. This transparency is intended to foster awareness, resilience, and engagement. In 1947, China introduced the 11-dash line, claiming almost 90% of the South China Sea, which initiated the ongoing territorial disputes involving multiple Southeast Asian countries. In 1995, China seized Mischief Reef, located 125 nautical miles from Palawan within the Philippine EEZ. Initially claimed by China as simple fishermen's shelter to create a positive climate for the peaceful resolution of claims, it eventually became one of China's largest fully militarized artificial islands. It is equipped with anti-ship, anti-aircraft missile systems, laser, jamming equipment, and fighter jets. In response to China's actions at Mischief Reef, the Philippines grounded the BRP Sierra Madre at Ayungin Shoal in 1999 and prevent China's occupation and the construction of additional infrastructure to assert its claim. The ship remains a commissioned vessel, and regular resupply missions are conducted to maintain it. In 2012, a standoff occurred at Scarborough Shoal between Philippines and Chinese vessel. The reason, the Philippines attempted to apprehend illegal fishing and the harvesting of giant clams and other endangered species, but the Chinese Navy intervened in an effort to ease the tension. The Philippines withdrew its ship from the area. However, China took advantage of this move, leading to its permanent occupation of the shoal. In 2013, the Philippines took a bold step by filing an arbitration case against China, challenging its action in the South China Sea under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or the UNCLOS. Despite China's refusal to participate, the tribunal ruled in favor for the Philippines in 2016, issuing 6 important points to support the Philippines' position. The 9-dash line is illegal and has no basis in international law. The high tide features of the Spratly Islands, or the Kalayaan Island Group, and Scarborough Shoal are net islands entitled to an exclusive economic zone and continental shelf. China violated sovereign rights of the Philippines in its EEZ and continental shelf. China violated the traditional fishing rights of Filipinos at Scarborough Shoal.
Dapat palayasin ng China dyan sa Scarborough Shoal kasi nahampi nila. Nagbawalan kami mangisda doon, wala daw tayong permit sa kanila. Sa Chinese embassy nila na mangisda. Pinauwi kami kahapon.
China destroyed marine environment of the South China Sea, or West Philippine Sea, through artificial island building and the harvesting of endangered species. The dangerous maneuver of Chinese vessels against the Philippines vessels at Scarborough Shoal violated UNCLOS. However, China has escalated its illegal, coercive, aggressive, and deceptive action in the West Philippine Sea, including spreading disinformation, ramming using water cannons and lasers, and installing barriers. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has emphasized that no part of the Philippines will be yielded to any foreign power while maintaining friendly relations globally.
The Philippines cannot yield. The Philippines cannot waver.
Our stand is guided by the theme, our seas, our rights, our future, emphasizing the importance of our maritime claims and their impact on national security and prosperity. The historical and geographical claims of the Philippines over South China Sea are well documented, including the 1734 map by Jesuit priest Jose Marillo Velarde, which supports our submissions to the arbitration court, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or the UNCLOS, and 2016 Arbitral Award further solidify our rights in the West Philippine Sea. The West Philippine Sea contributes significantly to the Philippines economy, providing resources like fisheries and potential oil and gas reserves. We must protect this for future generations. The country and your armed forces derive its strength from the unity of the Filipino people. Together, we stand strong in promoting our national interest. It is crucial that we remain united in defending our sovereignty and securing our nation's future.
Ang West Philippine Sea ay hindi katang-isip natin lamang. Ito ay atin. At ito ay mananatiling atin hanggat nag-aalab ang diwa ng ating minamahal na bansang Pilipinas.
Let's remember that together we stand, divided we fall.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Mamabayan, at yan po, napanood po ninyo ang audiovisual presentation regarding po dyan sa West Philippine Sea and why we are fighting for our rights. Kasi ito po ang ating pong future. This area dyan sa West Philippine Sea ay isa pong malaking aspeto ng paglago ng ating pong bansa, ng ekonomiya ng ating bansa. Kaya ito po ay pinangangalagaan at patuloy pong binabantayan at patuloy pong pinoprotektahan. Kaya sa ating mga taga-subaybay, tagapakinig, tayo po ay merong karapatan at meron po tayong malaking responsibilidad sa pagpapaabot ng mga impormasyon patungkol po dito. At kaya kami po dito sa ating himpilan, as we are celebrating the West Philippine Sea, ay ating pong itong sama-samang ipaabot sa ating pong mamayang Pilipino. Ito pong nalalapit na Victory Day na kung saan sa ngayong 11 ay ating pong natanggap ang ating pong pagkapanalo sa arbitral case laban po dyan sa bansang China. And para rin po sa kalaman po natin, we are not enemies of China. And for the information of everybody, ay hindi po tayo kaaway ng bansang China. Nagkaroon lang po tayo ng misunderstanding on our rights dito po sa West Philippine Sea. And we are protecting our rights against dito po sa bansang China. And we are informing and doing a diplomatic approach in order to have a good collaborations and cooperations with China related to these issues that we had. Dahil gusto natin itong ipaalam dahil gusto po nating maipabot ito sa ating pong kapitbahay na we want peace. And we want peace and we want to have a continuous cooperations and collaborations with our neighboring countries. We are Asian countries and tayo po dito sa ating pong bansa, sa ating pong continent, the Asia, ay tayo po yung magkaisa, centralization, para po tayo po ay sama-samang uunlad at sama-samang makikisa, para po sa ating pong hangarin na magkaroon ng magandang katayuan, magandang pamumuhay ang bawat bansang saan siya. And ito po ay patuloy po natin itong ipinapabot sa ating mamamayang Pilipino dahil everybody ay dapat maging knowledgeable on the informations of having kind of having an information about West Philippine Sea. Mga kabayan, hindi lang po ito laban ng ating pong Armed Forces of the Philippines. Hindi lang po ito ay advokasya ng ating Armed Forces of the Philippines. We are Filipinos, so we must know about our rights sa West Philippine Sea. We are continuously doing about sharing the information dahil gusto po natin na tayo po ay mismo mamayang Pilipino ay alam kung bakit natin ito ginagawa at alam bakit po natin ito pinapanatili. Kaya sa ating mababangayan, sa ating mga tropa, we are not looking for war. Ito gusto po nating i-emphasize that the Philippines is not looking for war. We're just, sabi nating Pangulo na we are just protecting, even in an inch of our territory, ay pinapangalagaan po natin yan. At merong mga paglabag na sinasagawa ng ating pong kapitbahay, but the Philippines will continue to remain professionals and doing what is right in protecting our sovereignty. Ito po ay gusto nating maipabot dahil kung tutuusin natin mga taga-subaybayan, ang bansang China ay partners na po natin sa kalakalan yan. Marami po tayong mga Pilipino na sa China. Marami rin po tayong mga Chinese na narito. We are partners in terms of our economic development. However, dito lang tayo hindi nagkakaunawaan sa West Philippine Sea. And we are informing everybody, especially these messages that we want to inform, that the government of China, the Republic of China, hope they understand in valuing the friendship, the respect of two countries, the China and the Philippines. The Philippines and China ay meron na pong matagal na ugnayan in terms of economic development and partners in every programs. At we are looking forward that these issues, that this dispute will be solved and showing respect to one another and valuing the rights of every countries, the rights of every territories in various areas, not only in the Philippines but also in Asia. Sana ito lang po, we are informing everybody, especially the Republic of China, that they must respect the sovereign rights of every countries na nasasakupan ng kailang non-dash line. We have the international law of the sea, so we must respect that the international law. And for the information of China, we are not claiming the whole South China Sea. We are just protecting the 200 nautical miles, the exclusive economic zone na nasasakupan ng ating pong bansa. And we are just protecting that because it is the basis, and we have the basis na at kaya ito'y ating pinangangalagaan. We won the case and hope the Republic of China will accept this pagkatalo or losing about this case. Because we have basis and however the China has meron ding basis regarding po dyan, but hoping that this kind of basis between China and the Philippines and the international law of the sea ay magkaroon ng pagkakaunawaan that they should be respect the sovereign rights of every country in order to have a good and sound pamumuhay living in this world para po sa isang mapayapa at maayos na bansa na bansang Pilipinas, bansang China at ng buong Asia. Kaya po mga kabayan, ito po pinapaabot po natin dahil we are celebrating the 9th ika-10 na anibersaryo ng ating pagkapanalo sa arbitral case kontra China regarding po dyan sa West Philippine Sea. Kaya sa ating mga babayan, sa ating mga tropa, saan man kayo naroroon, sama-sama po natin ipagdiwang ito, sama-sama po natin ipaabot sa ating mga mayang Pilipino why the AFP, why the government still fighting and fighting our rights and protecting our territory because this West Philippine Sea is ours. Alright mga bayan, oras natin ganap ng alas 10:50 na po at tayo po magrarahan-rana. Marami pong salamat sa inyo pong pag-antabay sa ating mga partners, sa ating pong mga katropa na nakatawid, especially with my partner, katropang 40 Blues. Thank you so much. At sa ating po mga nakatawid na mga tropa saan magdako ng bansa, mapagpalang araw po sa inyo at mapagpalang araw po ng Miyerkules. Ingat-ingat po lagi at binabati po natin si Ma'am Cell na nakantabay ngayon sa Pinagulbong sa Kamusta Pilipinas. Ingat po kayo lagi, maulan. Ingat din po kayo ma'am, pagaling po kayo dyan po sa Health Center. Kaya hello Papsi Benjamin sir, hello Papsi Benjamin, rainy morning sa inyo. Take care sa waterborne sickness. Ingat, sickness. Ingat po at God bless din po sa inyo sir. Maraming salamat dyan naman po sa University of Perpetual Health, Delta System and Honolta System. Maraming salamat. Pabayan, maraming salamat po. God bless at mapagpalang umaga. Muli ako po yung lingkod katropang Glenn Goldchan. Bumabati po sa inyo isa pong mapagpala at maulang araw ng Miyerkules.
Ating pakinggan ang mga impormasyon at balita sa kasalukuyang kaganapan sa ating bansa. Dito sa programang Kumusta Pilipinas? Hosted by Major Mark Anthony Cardenosa, Philippine Army. And Airman First Class Glenn Guljan, alas 10 hanggang alas 11 ng umaga, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, dito sa DWDD Armed Forces Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.